They arrived on a flight from Buenos Aires this morning at 5 a.m. Newark, and so their first stop, other than I guess the hotel, on their first visit to the United States is to the Asia Society. So thank you. I'm sorry, but can we have somebody who speaks better Thai than I do just help them to understand? There you are, ma'am. Don't be shy. ขอบคุณมากครับ Wow, that's about it. Thank you so much. So first of all, we'll come to you, Governor, just in a moment. How was Buenos Aires? And I mean, they didn't just go to Buenos Aires. This is, of course, a young soccer player and his soccer coach. They played a friendly in the stadium where the 1978 World Cup was held. So can we just have a couple of words about what it was like to be in Argentina and in that place? I've never been to Argentina. I have a microphone.
ก็เป็นสิ่งที่น่าตื่นเต้นแล้วก็เป็นสิ่งที่น่าเรียนรู้มากๆครับ
So he's saying that being able to play soccer or football at the stadium was very exciting because they've never really gone to that kind of that place before, so it was very exciting for them.
ก็รู้สึกดีใจครับและได้เรียนรู้หลายๆอย่างจากการที่ได้ไปสัมผัสเป็นระดับนักกีฬามืออาชีพในที่บนรถไอเรน
Okay, so he's saying that it was very excited and he was happy that he was able to learn a lot of things at a world-class level from professional football players as well.
Okay, we'll come back to you in a moment. I want to come to the governor, and I'm not sure I did justice in my introduction in just explaining that, as I understand it, you not only were on television 24 hours a day explaining, and we know what that's like here in a crisis, somebody becomes the face of the crisis. But you also had to coordinate. How many people were involved in Thailand and from around the world in this effort?
Almost 10,000 people involved.
Yeah.
And about a couple of hundred of international expertise.
Yeah. And you had to say no to some people, didn't you?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know the whole story, but Elon Musk from Tesla, right? I mean, didn't he send some kind of submarine or something to... That didn't work.
Thank you for Elon. That submarine is maybe new technology that he sent to the cave.
Yeah.
And but not good luck for him because the last day, and we finished helping the children for a couple of days, and they ate alive and healthy. So we strict with our old hand.
Okay.
So we don't use, but we bring the submarine to use in the SEAL and the Science and Technology Ministry.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I have to ask you to be honest with us. In the early days, you know, when there was no news, you have to keep giving the people hope in your public. Did you yourself, did you believe it was going to be okay? How worried were you?
A lot of worry, but when you're in charge of helping the people, you have to believe that they're still alive, they're still okay, and every day, every single minute, you spend all of your energy to help them. And you have to encourage all the people in front of the cave to believe you and to help the people.
The people who were waiting. Yes. Yeah. Talk a little bit about that day when, because there were really two incredible moments of good news, I guess. The first one when the whole world was really watching when the diver reaches them. How did you get that news? And talk a little bit about what it was like when you heard they were found, but they were not safe yet, right?
that is the 10th day of the mission. And I think all of the people who help in front of the cave still worry that 10 days we cannot reach the children and we cannot find them. So a lot of people don't believe that they're still alive. And a lot of pressure on my shoulder to try to help. And at that day, a couple of English divers, they reached the children around 9:30 o'clock at night. And for me and my staff, we have a meeting in front of rain. Try to think that if we cannot find the children at that night, tomorrow what we try to do, because a lot of bad news come, like the new storm coming.
New storms, yeah.
Yes. And they said that the meteorology said that the new storm will be bigger than the last storm. So if we cannot reach the children in a couple of days, maybe a lot of problem will be facing us. One of a SEAL team, Thailand team, came to me and said that they have news, and they bring me out of the meeting. Maybe 100 meters far from the meeting, they said to me that the governor will find the children all alive and in good health. My face not believe him. I said to him that you check the news already, because the diver that we sent in the cave in that morning, maybe will a couple of hours they will reach the front of the cave. They said that no, one of them is out, and they said that healthy and alive. I said to him that can I announce this situation? He said that up to me, but I would like to check again that all of the 13 boys are alive and healthy.
Yeah, you can't say anything without.
But we think about that. But the world want to be heard the good news.
Right.
If we wait for a couple of hours, maybe some media, if they have something like hey, we found the children, but in charge of the commander, you don't say that you found the children. Maybe they don't believe you anymore. So we have tried to manage about the news and the fact.
Did you wait until you saw the pictures? Is that what you waited for?
No. I called the meeting, especially the head of our team. And I said to him that the SEAL team with the couple of English cave diver, they are the specialist cave diver in the world. And we call them from British, and some from some Europe, and some from Australia. And we said that in the meeting, I said that the first news of alive and healthy, but I would like to check for the fact that this information is real.
Sure.
But in the meeting, most of them said that we have to announce.
Yep.
Because if we didn't announce, maybe all the people that watching, that they will be curious that 10 days the boy was lost. If we announce and we try to manage information better than this, it's okay. But if we take this information for a couple of hours and we don't announce. Maybe some media don't believe us anymore.
Yeah.
So I came out and I still call the meeting. I still call the meeting and I came out of the meeting. I go to their parent.
To their parents.
Go to their parent first. And I say to their parent that I found your kid.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Healthy, alive, all of them.
But still stuck in the cave.
Yeah, still stuck in the cave. And I try to be my best to bring them out alive.
So before we get to that part, I want to ask Coach Kunek, you have gotten a lot of credit for, as I said, for giving some food and things to the boys. But how do you had to, we talked about hope. How did you keep hope strong in those days? Can you?
I think that Coach Ek is he studied the Buddhist and he tried to bring all the kids to be in calm and still believe that someone will help them because they heard. I talked to them that something that sometimes they heard that we try to find them. He heard maybe the whistle and something that we call them. So.
Do you mind just so he can understand? How did he keep hope?
ก็พยายามคือทุกคนมั่นใจว่ามีความหวังมั่นใจมีความหวังยังไงก็คือผู้ใหญ่ทุกคนนะก็คือจะไม่ทอดทิ้งพวกเราแน่นอน
So he said that everybody already believed that the adults will come looking for them anyway, so they never lost hope. So they know that someone will come and rescue them.
And I know we don't want to harp too much on these days for Adun, but I just have to ask about the English. So what did the key word in English, if I understood that in terms of the story you told and the British diver coming, was the number 13. Did you understand that number or did you understand the full, I mean, what do you remember of when the British diver came and is it correct that Adun was actually the one who was able to communicate so that they could understand?
เขาถามว่าวันนั้นที่นักดำน้ำอังกฤษไปเจอแล้วเราคุยกับเขาเนี่ยเป็นภาษาอังกฤษเนี่ยเรื่องจำนวนหรือเรื่องสุขภาพอะไรเป็นยังไงแล้วเราเป็นคนบอกเขาเองว่า13อะไรเจอยังไงแล้วเราพูดกับเขาว่า13หรืออะไรยังไง
ใช่นะก็ เขามาถามว่าพวกเธอมีทั้งหมดกี่คนผมก็ตอบไปว่ามี13คนแล้วเขาก็ถามว่าพวกคุณเป็นยังไงบ้างอย่างนี้ครับก็โอเคครับยังมีแรงไหว
So when he met the divers, when they asked him how many people there were in the cave, he told them that there were 13 people in there. And when another question was with that, how is everybody? And he said that everybody was fine, okay. So he was the one who answered, yes.
One of the others in your delegation told us just now over lunch that talking about how it has been since this ordeal, that he, and I guess speaking for a lot of people in Thailand, have been so impressed by the way the boys have, you're famous, but you're not acting like you're famous. Somebody said that they, I don't know if it's Adun or one of the others who now has 300,000 followers on Instagram. But if I can just ask, what is it like? I mean, this is still only a couple of months ago. You're traveling around the world. does it seem sometimes like a little bit of a dream, or is it easy to still have the normal life back in Thailand? Speak a little bit about how things have changed since then.
ก็ใช้ชีวิตปกติครับแต่ไอเรื่องที่ว่าเป็นคนดังนี่คือไม่ใช่ครับเพราะว่าก็คือเป็นปกติเหมือนเดิมนี่แหละเพียงแต่ว่ามีคนรู้จักเพิ่มขึ้นเท่านั้นนะครับ
So he's saying that he doesn't think that he's famous. He's living his normal life like he usually does, but it's just that things have changed in the bit, and that more people know about him and know who he is, but he still thinks that he's not famous.
And how about Adun? When you go to school, are you just one of the boys, or is there a feeling that there's something special about you now?
มันก็มีบ้างครับแต่เราก็ยังเป็นคนเหมือนเดิมปกติครับ
He's saying that some people might think that he might be special, but he still thinks that he's normal, just like anybody else. He's not famous at all.
You know,
it's a very good answer.
In Thai tradition, the people always think that we are shy to present ourselves. If you say that we are hero or we are some people that famous in the world, so I don't. You know, after finish the mission, I say in my word, and I think that the same. Some people look at us is we are very famous, but I think that we think that we are not. We just do our job, get our job done. For my in the commander, I think that I just do my job, do my responsibility, and get my job done. After it finish, I will be the same person. I think the kids is also the same.
Do you think that there's a lesson for leaders anywhere I mean, of course, it's an extraordinary experience for you in that kind of command post that you had. Is there a lesson? We've had other leaders from all kinds of different experiences in different parts of the world. But what did you learn something in this process about being?
The lesson that I learned, I think that more than 10,000 people come from anywhere in Thailand. They don't know all the kids or the 13 kids, or they don't know the coach Eke Pol. They don't know. I don't know Eke Pol, and I don't know the kid before. But we think that we have to do something to bring them out. I think 10,000 people also think like this. They came in front of the cave. Also, a couple of hundreds of people internationally, they came into the cave. Not for famous. Not think that we are famous or something. If we can get the job done, we can make the mission possible, we are famous. No. They think that they want to bring the kid out of the cave alive. Yep. Every person think like that. So, if in the real world, the people stay like this, change a little bit of mind, change a little bit of integrity, and you have something, you dominate something that you to the social, yep, to the world, and bring people to live for after. I think the world will be better than this.
I think you're right. A question online, and then if there are any questions from the audience, we'll take you in a second, sir, in the middle here. But somebody asked over the internet for Adun, how has your friendship grown with your teammates and your coach since this experience?
ดีขึ้นเลยครับทุกอย่างคือเหมือนเป็นพี่น้องครอบครัวเดียวกันครับ
So he's saying that that relationship has gotten stronger because they feel like a family because they spent a long time together in that cave.
You have a better soccer team?
Team yes
They play with the junior River Plate. Score 3-3. Yeah, 3-3.
I know, it's all over CNN. You can't miss it. I mean, gentleman here in the... hang on, if you can just wait for a microphone.
Hi, Mark Aronson, Rutgers University. I've written a book for children or the same age as the team about the cave rescue, and I have a question about one thing that hasn't been described. We've seen the pictures of the team on the sandy bank, and we see the moment when Abdul and the team comes down to where John and Rick met them. But no one has described what it was like around the corner, where they were, where they all lived on those days, where they must have been scratching in the rock and meditating, taking the water from the stalactites. What was that like? What was it? What was the physical area? And how were they? Were they all together? Were they spread out? Did they do things together or only individually? Nothing has been described about that inside, only on the sandy bank down to the water where they met the divers. So anything we could learn about what it was like inside.
You've already written a book about this?
I have written a book about it, which I actually would love to give to them to read.
Okay. Did you get that? That's a tough one to translate, I would think, but okay.
มันเป็นเรื่องของเรื่องภายในถ้ำซึ่งตรงนี้เรารอที่จะทำI think that the story in the cave now we waiting for we write down the after action review in Thailand.
After action review, yeah.
What happened in the cave after we finish after action review for the Ministry of Interior, maybe something will be clarified. But we waiting for the after action review.
I think also there's a little, and you may have sensed it, or a little bit of reticence about getting into, with them especially, too much of the, reliving too much of that trauma. Did you have a question, ma'am, here on the left? Or hang on for the microphone, if you would.
I'm a meditation teacher. I've been meditating for years. So all I could think of if most of the boys learned meditation during the time they were in the cave, because we all know the power.
Yeah. That's a good question for the coach. Did you meditate in the caves with the boys?
ก็มีทำสมาธิในถ้ำเพื่อที่ให้จิตใจสงบนะครับ
So he's saying that he meditated for some time so that everybody could have a calm kind of feeling, so that to keep everyone calm, he made the children kind of meditate with him.
This is a good and very best lesson, because in the cave you have a little bit of oxygen level. At that time, at the time that we bring the kid out, the oxygen level is 15%. When today in this auditorium we breathe about 21% of oxygen level, but in the cave they have only 15%. If the oxygen level go down to 12%, maybe they will shock and maybe coma. So the thing that Coach Ekapol teach their staff to meditation, it will be calm down and spend a little bit of breathing and spend a little bit of oxygen, so they can take the oxygen for a long time. I think this is a better lesson learned.
Well, you've just answered. There was a question actually about staying mentally strong through meditation online, so that's asked and answered. Was there another one in the middle here? A couple. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Heike Buchter, Die Zeit, German newspaper. I had a question for Adul and his coach too. This has been quite something in your life that basically will determine how it goes forward, probably, or most likely. What does he think he will be or do in about 5 or 10 years from now?
Thai World Cup team. You know.
เป็นอะไรใน 5-10 ปีข้างหน้า
Best soccer.
Best soccer?
Yeah, Thai World Cup team.
Chokdi. Yes, ma'am, in the middle.
Hi, Elizabeth Shim from UPI. I'm a reporter. My question is for the coach and Adul. I was wondering, I know the coach spent a lot of effort to calm the team, but I was wondering if he thought this rescue and the survival of all a miracle, and if it fits his definition of a miracle. Thank you.
เราคิดว่ายังไงคิดว่าเป็นเรื่องปกติหรือเป็นเรื่องปาฏิหาริย์เป็นอะไร
เป็นเรื่องที่น่าเหลือเชื่อมากๆไม่คิดไม่ฝันว่าคนทั่วโลกจะมาช่วยเหลือพวกผมขอบคุณและขอบคุณทุกคนทั่วโลกที่คอยช่วยเหลือและคอยให้กำลังใจมาโดยตลอดครับ
So he's saying that it's unbelievable that every person around the world would come and rescue them, and he would like to express his thanks and gratitude to everybody who came and helped them.
Thank you. Now, one of the things that we talk about how your lives have changed. You've gone to Buenos Aires. Here you are in New York. Next stop, Los Angeles, by the way. For either of you, looking at the world map, where would you like to go if you could continue? I know you have to go back home at some point, but do you have a particular place you'd like to visit? I'm sure there's a lot of people who would like to see you. So.
อยากไปไหนอยากไปไหนต่ออยากไปไหนต่อยังไงก็ต้องไปแต่เราอยากไปไหนตอบให้อันที่มี
He said that he doesn't know yet.
You have time to think about it. And just back to soccer for a second. I read somewhere, this is not just a weird question I'm asking, that because this happened right around the time of the World Cup, that actually you were, I mean, one of the ways to distract from the trauma was that you actually, the boys anyway, were really thinking about, and they wanted to know the news, and there was a Croatia fan there, and they were doing very well. Were you actually thinking about World Cup soccer while you were in there?
.ก็มีคิดอยู่ว่าตอนนี้บอลถึงคู่ไหนแข่งแล้วอะไรประมาณเนี้ย
So yeah, they thought about it. They thought about the pairs who's going up against next and stuff like that. But yeah.
Okay. So I think when you Tom asked the question that they think where they want to go, I think that the kid cannot answer this question because they want to go to normal life. So I think that they have only a month a vacation, but next month they have to go to school.
Sure. That's a little thing called school.
So they cannot answer you. They cannot answer you where they want to go.
Yeah, that's a good point. The tour has to stop. Yes, in the back. Yes, ma'am. We have time for just a couple more.
Thank you. My name is Nitikan Kamlangwan from Voice of America Thai Service. So all the questions going to be in Thai for both of the speakers. เริ่มที่ท่านผู้ว่าเลยนะคะท่านรู้สึกยังไงกับการมารับรางวัลในความเห็นของท่านคะแล้วก็คิดว่ารางวัลนี้มันสำคัญยังไงกับคนไทยคะ
And now I need some translation, or the audience does.
So the question was that the governor, how does he feel about coming up to receive the award today, and how important he thinks the award is for the Thai people?
In my opinion, that I think that I just one of the 10,000 people who involved in this mission. The award, the prize, will be for 10,000 people that involved. Mm-hmm. They have to be. They should be here in New York, 10,000 people. But we cannot be here all the people.
Yeah, we're a not-for-profit organization, so.
Yeah. So I am the representative of them, and I think that this is, I think, the most award that I got the most important award in my life, for my opinion. The most important. But for the country of Thailand, I think that this prize will bring the people to think about that Thailand, we are the small country in Southeast Asia, but we have the potential to do many things, many missions, or everything could be done if we have something like to help each other, to be united. If we think about the one goal, we can do it. So I think that this will be the lesson learned of Thai people. If we have only one goal, Thai people can do it.
Well said. And you said it's the best award you've ever gotten. I assume it's the biggest, I hope for you, it's the biggest job you'll ever have to tackle. So just an add to the young woman's question, I didn't get into this before, but we actually are honoring another nation and another major rescue effort tonight, and that's the heroes from Fukushima, from the disaster there 7 plus years ago now. And that had already been decided and everything else at about the time of this crisis. And of course, they're completely different. I mean, you can't really even compare, obviously, the scale and the end story and everything else, but the response and the heroism on both sides and the resilience seemed similar. And so some of the folks in our global network said we should do an honor for the Thais as well. And the response was very similar. Nobody in Japan wants to be the one person who accepts on behalf of all these people. So this is an honor for the governor, for for the coach, for all the kids, and all the people, as you say. But 10,000 people don't fit on this stage. So.
And I think that the Fukushima, maybe the scale of helping other people is more than it.
Of course. Yeah. We could do one more, and then we really need to wrap. Well, I actually can answer that. They are in Buenos Aires. Adona and his coach were kind enough to take a little detour. And I do want to, by the way, in addition to thanking the three of them, so they're going straight on to Los Angeles, I want to thank the representatives from Thailand who are here. Because it's one thing to just decide in midsummer that you want to do this, but then you have to call the Consul General from Thailand, Kun Nippon, and then he has to call people. I mean, I don't know the half of what went on, but we knew it would be hard to arrange, and Khop Kun Ma Kap, Sawadee Kap.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all for coming. Good luck to both of you, and we'll see some of you tonight, and the rest of you, thank you for coming to the Age of Society this afternoon. Appreciate it. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
ขอบคุณมากครับสวัสดีครับ